come on in and join us.
When I was about 10 years old, I was at the Warner Brothers studios watching Dixie Carter in a show being filmed, and Hal Holbrook came and sat down next to me for a couple hours. I looked at him and said, "Hey, I know you." And he said, "You're too young to know me." And I said, "I know Mark Twain." And he said, "Yeah, you know me."
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop here. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. Cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, Marcus would like to talk about Mark Twain.
So Hal Holbrook, who I just mentioned, was known for decades for touring the country with a show called Mark Twain Tonight, a fabulous recreation of the American humorist live on stage, and there were 3 record albums produced of that performance that you can still get, and when I was growing up, they were the funniest things I had ever heard. There was one passage where Hal Holbrook goes, "When I was young, I had a twin brother named Bill, and when we were taking a bath as babies, one of us drowned, and everybody thought it was Bill, but I think it might have been me." So while Hal Holbrook shuffled off his mortal coil a few years ago, Richard Thomas from the Waltons, good night, John Boy, has picked up the ball, gotten in the van, and is touring Mark Twain Tonight around the country. It gets here to San Francisco in the next few weeks. Keep your eyes open. It will be arriving at a city near you. You could do a lot worse for a fun night out. And speaking of Mark Twain, what is our soap today?
So this one has been begged for by the community, and it's even had a name change. So let's meet it.
All right, y'all, from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
A Shave Cadet favorite. I know this release is going to make many a Shave Cadet happy, and that feels good. I also know more than a few of you riddle seekers will be wondering about the name change too.
Whistling Driftseed is an homage to Mr. Mark Twain, who really needs no introduction. Panspermia, Halley's Comet, and a new, very real character on Earth's horizon, 31/Atlas, 3I/Atlas, is the 3rd confirmed interstellar object, a visitor from another star system, discovered passing through our solar system currently. Being that Mark Twain considered himself to be personally connected to a comet, and the recent demand for this scent to return, it just seemed right. Just in case they don't explain this further, Mark Twain was born when Halley's Comet was passing by. And they kind of knew it came every 70 years or so, and he was very clear that when the comet came back, it was going to take him with it. And it did.
Last year's Advent Superstar, originally crafted in 2016 as Dixie for the Dirty South Shavers meetup in Huntsville, Alabama. This scent has a backstory as rich and bold as the South itself. It was also voted one of the most must-have re-releases from the 2024 Advent calendar. So here we are, folks, as promised.
Those people asking for Whistlin' Dixie were not just Whistlin' Dixie. Well, it didn't explain the name change.
You're right.
It just said riddle seekers were going to be curious about it.
Now we're curious.
Well, let's see if there's some answers when we open the box. Well, it's a big box because we bought this one, y'all, and some shampoo bars to go with it. Look at that label.
It's Mark Twain with a goldfish whispering in his ear. There's a comet, and then wait, the cube says the 31 Atlas thing.
This is the 3rd time that we've seen a goldfish whispering something into somebody's ear. We need some lore specialists, y'all. Oh, and there's the aftershave, y'all, and here are our perfect friends seeking clemency for their first impression.
I'm so curious how the drift seed portion comes into play here.
Right, because it was Whistling Dixie, and a drift seed is a seed that travels on the ocean's surface, like across continents, to plant themselves on faraway shores. I don't remember seeing seeds in the scent notes, so I think it's going to allude to something else, maybe a little bit of an allegory in the scent. But take it in, see what you get.
Okay, go with it. Woohoo. There's something in this that makes me feel like it smells like sunshine. Like there's just a gentle breeze outside. I don't know if it's the florals necessarily around me, but it has that gentle in the breeze kind of whiff. Like everything's kind of melding together. So it's almost hard to nail down in a good way. I'm just trying to figure out how that's even happening. I think it's more like a plant, but it's sweeter. So not quite a hay, but something that's gentle in the breeze. Like I get those yellow kind of light dried florals happening. Maybe like a sunflower. Something in that yellowy tone is really wanting to be heard. It has a gentle sweetness, like almost approaching like an amber thing, but nothing in it is dark. So I'm just set in those light, brighter tones. It's not done with the citrus side, so I think it's the floral that's really coming out. It's just not one that I can narrow down. So I'm going to throw in sunflower. Not sure if that can help you, but I think that's where we're at. I'm really getting more of like a springtime thing. So I feel like that's why the sun's up and there's something gentle in the breeze happening, but there's also like an herbiness that's here that is not the darker spices. It's lighter, it's brighter. I kind of get like a iced tea kind of vibe. So maybe that's knowing that this was originally for the South at meetup. Okay. Something there is coming through. So I don't know what happened to the tea leaves. They're still light and bright to me. But somehow it's kind of in that lane. I know they even use like florals in tea sometimes. So I kind of think they're in that lane. It's the prettier textures. Like I almost could get like a map that's been like folded and unfolded a million times. Right. Like it's more that ambery light tan kind of thing. So I know Mark Twain, a lot of times it's in that tan canvasy kind of suit. There's something about that linen-y kind of thing, even like hanging over the clotheslines coming through. So it has a transportive vibe to me. Like it's taking me somewhere I haven't been. Right. But it's creating a fun adventure. Like I almost get like this childlike side to it. Like I want to run and play outside. There's just something about that free kind of spirit coming through.
Well, remember your Steel Magnolia's sweet tea is the house wine of the South.
I gotta say, like, the sweetest go as like a honey, though. So there's something in like that amber kind of honey color. It's not gourmandy, but the gentle sweets of just that nature provides. There's something about that that's coming through. There's something from La Serena, but like in a total masculine way. But that similar color hue, if I had to pick something that just comes to mind first, I feel like I would go more towards that lane. Alphine's a little too dry for me. It's gotta be a little sweeter. So not that this is feminine, but I know sometimes just giving you a color or a lane in the PAA verse kind of helps. So you can see when you take a whiff, but that's where it took me. There's almost something approaching like a body lotion, a sunscreen without the coconut. Whoa. There's something in there that my inner kid is connecting to. I think that's why I had that like childlike moment.
Is it a magnolia or a kudzu flower or something southern?
I think so. I just don't know it enough to pull it apart, but there's something about it. I can tell it's a sweeter floral, but I don't know which one it is. It's not one that I'm very familiar with, but I feel like PAA has used it strategically in other things before, but I don't know what that is. It's just familiar. It's warm. It's gently sweet. It's not crazy feminine. It just brings out sunshine for me. Okay, last little image I'm getting here is Red at the end of Shawshank, and he's under the tree in those just open fields, and just time is a different place, and you're just looking around and that's all you can see are those open fields. That's where this is taking me.
You know what's funny? I mentioned that same field when we shot our Bluegrass Muse.
Oh, we did,
episode.
Yeah.
That's where it took me. You take the booze out of Bluegrass Muse, is it close?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But there's a nice gentle breeze to me. Like it's not so hot in the South that you don't want to do anything. Right. There's just that gentle kind of breeze going on that you're feeling comfortable, at least with the temperature outside.
I have been to the South, if you count Epcot.
All right, I'm kind of curious to see where this takes you. That's where it took me.
Insanely curious to know where this takes me. All right, here we go, taking it in.
Why was it requested? You'll soon find out.
Y'all, this is one of my favorite lanes of scents. Every once in a while, back in the day when I would walk into Sephora, I would say, do you have something clean and soapy? I just like the idea of riffing on that sense of being clean out of the bath. Not necessarily the shower, but just having pampered yourself all morning with a big old luxurious masculine bubble bath. You get out and you put something nice and herby in your hair. Your tweed coat's got something nice on it from the laundry. That's the sense I'm getting for this. Well, maybe being in the presence of Mark Twain himself, in that beautiful linen suit that you mentioned, and him just kind of ooze and class and charm. It's got a beautifully sweet side that meets with a beautifully herby side, and the line where they come together is rather blurry. So it's not about that zippering of the scent notes together. It's about experiencing them separately. Clean, soapy, white plaster, linen on one side. I'm getting the sense of the room. Maybe even like a gentleman's lounge in Georgia. Something like that, in the shadow of the Coca-Cola plant. And you know what's funny? There is a third player. Hold on. Where those two come together, there is this cloud cover over the top of like a powdery scent that the two of them are creating, but it's not in the bass notes of those two accords. It's in the lights. Wow. Wow, hold on. It's delightfully potent without being bossy. And you know what? If we're gonna have a literary reference in here, it doesn't smell like a library. Go to NYC Odyssey, something like that, Cleo's for a beautiful library sense. This is more of a bookstore. Libraries about old, ancient leather and parchment. This is about brand new paperbacks cracking on the shelf.
Yeah, I can almost feel like there's a satchel around you, like you're getting all the notebooks you need.
Not an Indiana Jones type, but just as adventurous and just as rugged, just on the cleaner side. No patchoulis, no tobaccos, anything like that in here. Something chalky and talky on the soapy side gives way to something lemony and citrusy underneath on that grassy herby side, and then that has a way of cleaning itself up and adding a delicate sweet for that powdery cloud cover over the top. No whitewash in this. And you know what? You said something really smart. You said floral and ambery, and I am kind of getting that streak of sunlight through the top, maybe just a little bit of a flower on Aunt Polly's kitchen table, that kind of a thing. Beautifully clean and soapy, but it doesn't go soapy sweet. It doesn't go fresh, clean sweet. Stay with me. There is something in the citrus that arrests the sweet halfway up with something a little tiny bit sour in the best of ways to make sure this does not go feminine. So that kind of sense that grapefruit gives to soaps that give it a dry, dapper, masculine citrus. It's not grapefruit at all. Watch when we get to the scent notes, it's totally grapefruit. It's not grapefruit at all, but something like that.
I think for me, it's closer to 4711 than it is to like Aventus or a current cologne. Like it does have something that kind of throws it back to what Mark maybe actually would have worn.
4711, the 300-year-old freshie. And you know what? Having the name Drift Seed on the front, it's not aquatic, but it's not far from the ocean. It can see it. Fresh air, ozone,
maybe,
kind of thing in there. A marine flower.
Maybe.
Something like that. Not the marine botanicals that are in the splash of Good Vibrations, which do not come through in the soap. That is the one soap and splash for me that's very different in the PAA universe. The rest are almost identical. Well, we have taken this raft about as far as it will go on its own. I need some guidance. Look at these scent notes and maybe build a lather. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. We start with, oh my gosh, bergamot. What are the chances of finding that in a shaving soap?
And that's next to bright citrus, so maybe your little grapefruity-ish idea kind of comes through with that.
I don't get grapefruit in this, though. I think bright would be a little bit more like a lemon, something I'm finding almost at the base in this. And there's nothing orangey or anything like that.
It's just still giving me that sunshiny vibe, so I don't know.
And then, hey, you were right about tea leaves, but anything that references Twain is probably going to have a little bit of that in there.
And then some more leaves, some bay leaves.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Not a bay rum. I don't see the spices or anything else going on in here. But
much lighter.
You got that bay.
Here's the one floral I can find. We have jasmine. There you go.
Perfect. Just subtle. On the breeze. It's way up in the trees. Just kind of giving that beautiful cloud cover of powder over the top.
And then beeswax absolute. I don't know if we've had that before.
Absolutely. Are you sensing that? I love when it's beeswax because it takes the sweet edge off the honeyness.
I did say there was something almost approaching honey.
Right.
So then maybe that's where it happened because that's right next to warm amber. So put those together and it's
Called
almost
that
honeyish.
Too. They're really right. You are so much better at this than me. And then look, somebody that has not been to our barbershop in a very long time. He's been hanging out down with Larry Shaves. We got Sammy the Civet here to represent our animalic musk. Welcome back, Sammy. And then...
I thought there might have been this when you said it wasn't, but tobacco absolute.
Beautiful. And then, same Southern spirit, new epic name.
All right.
Well, there you go.
To me, the tobacco portion kind of jumped into the tea leaves and the bay leaves. Like it became more of an herb as its use.
That tobacco is the brilliance that is that cloudy part between where those two sides of this come together for me. Not an entirely unknown tobacco if you do know the PAA line, but it is more subtle in this, and it's probably not the tobacco you were expecting if you've never experienced Maldoge or Briar or things like that.
So to me, though, the Animalic Musk and the Tobacco Absolute are kind of as dark as this gets and
100%.
as masculine as this gets.
Just a little bit of shadow so that you know how bright that sunlight is. And you know why I love my Doppler brush from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements? Because when I set it in my shaving bowl, the little ridges on the handle keep it from sliding into the bowl. Nobody likes soap on their handle. A little bit of bougie stick to put this soap into our lather lid from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This thing is a travel gem. It fits over the top of your Phoenix soaps, a bunch of other artisans as well, and you don't even have to make a smooth layer like we normally do here on the show. You just push it brute force style into the ridges on the bottom of this lather lid and go to town. I know, but watch. Just a little bit of water, and Sarah's going to show you how this works. This was a surprise when it was gifted to us from Douglas and Fran, how good it was.
She's taking the dry brush and kind of going one direction and then the other, just trying to get out of those little notches onto the bristles, and then I'm going to turn it. Keep going. This one always impresses me how much it makes like the lather almost falls out of the lid. Kind of adds a new like aerator to it or something. I don't know what the magic is, but it works.
Just shove it right on the top of your soap and throw it in your check bags.
All right, and then I'm going to add a little more water in as I'm going, and it's already trying to jump out of the bowl
We
here.
got some on the door.
Luckily, she's about to get a bath,
It's
so this
back.
is perfect.
It's fine. What do you bathe Huxley with?
All right, y'all, and there we have it. This lather is about falling out of the bowl.
Beautiful, iridescent, thick. Mm-hmm. And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn whiff. On 3, 1, 2. Ooh. You know, while this does whisk me off to a place, it does also, in the imagination of Douglas and Fran, whisk me off to a person. I could imagine that if we met Mark Twain, this is probably something like he would smell like.
Yeah. Actually, there for me in the lather, it's a little less sweet. Like, I do get more of the muskiness coming through, but it's still a clean muskiness.
It's a little sandier.
Yeah.
And it's not that clean laundry musk.
No.
It is kind of a tonalite, a fix-a-lite, something like that is meeting with the floral back on top to kind of be the bookends.
But that honeyed sweet part is a little less for me here.
Right, and I think that is what's meeting with the floral to kind of make that powdery sense. I was kind of surprised when I was looking up barbershop accords that every single barbershop has floral in it. And we were excited to see a new Shave Arcade video drop this week from Angela, but we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet. We thought you might like to see what this lather looks like when it coats and covers my mediocre moneymaker. Now let's see what it looks like on a beautiful face. She doesn't fight me on that. You ever notice that? Like ever?
There is something very calming about this scent, I have to say.
100%, as if you're just spending a lazy day in Kentucky gazing out at the river.
Right? Like, I really can just picture him under a tree, sitting there writing.
Right.
Not a care in the world, doesn't know what time it is, doesn't really care, is just lost in the moment.
Where did those stories take place? Missouri? Mississippi? Somewhere in there. He wrote some that took place here famously in California. The Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. He lived in San Francisco for a very long time. But fans of Star Trek The Next Generation know that, obviously. So come along with us, y'all. We're going to go even further south and take this a little deep. Ooh, are you ready to throw a little of this splash onto your face? Oh, and here is the restrictor. It's the plug. It's our favorite because it makes a little sound. Here we go. Just get your nail under it and pull up sharply. There we go. All right. I'm going to go first on this one. A little something here and a little something there. All right. Here we go. Chin chin. Ooh. Ooh. You know, not entirely a far walk from something familiar from my dad or grandfather's aftershave cabinet back in the 60s and 70s. Does not stay there. It's just kind of an echo. But something in the construction of this might be standing on some shoulders.
It started off with more of the citruses, and then those dried down pretty quick. Wow. Now I'm getting more of the musky kind of jasmine side going on.
Yes, the florals are way more prevalent here. This is lovely. A bit more of the animalic in here. This is speaking of wisdom.
It just feels like a time and a place that I haven't been. Like that's transportive part is coming through more in the dry down.
And while there's a world of richness to dive into, this also does kind of a magic trick. If somebody walked past me with this on, it might even read as transparent.
Yep.
It might even read as, oh, you're fresh and clean out of the shower. Maybe you've been to Barnes & Noble.
It just has something like it would just latch onto your identity somehow. It's
Right.
not its own scent. It just becomes part of you.
Well, it's like putting on a scent version of Mark Twain's linen suit with the little tie.
There you go.
Okay, for me, the citrus is a little more prevalent in the soap, and the spices surround it a little better in the splash.
I'd agree. It doesn't lose its brightness. It just kind of shifts where the lens at.
Right, and the cloudy, powdery kind of sense that I got that was up above in the soap is kind of now moving a little down and giving an outward hug to those other two accords I was sensing.
Now that it's completely dried down, I get more of the tea leaves, the bay leaves, and the tobacco portion as like the final end of the whiff.
Right. Although I bring you glad tidings of great joy. If for some of you, sometimes bay can get a little bit high and squinchy, it's being arrested here. So you definitely know it's bay, but it's not getting too high in the spices.
Just the raw leaf itself.
Yeah. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Marcus in college after a long day of rehearsals in the theater, hanging out with his cousin Melinda of the Barbershop Duet fame at Denny's at 3 a.m. And you're going to be talking about your favorite books, and she's going to ask you if you've ever actually read any Mark Twain. You're going to be a little embarrassed and say, I don't think so. And she's going to open her bag and take out something called the War Prayer. And you're going to get your own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com. Or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Whistling Driftseed. We live not far from the University Club in San Francisco, where Mark Twain lived, across the street from the Fairmount Hotel. And if you ever venture into the heart of the city, you will find echoes from its past going all the way back to the 1800s. And something about this scent makes me feel like I'm standing on the corner of California Street and Powell, taking in that view that Mark took in of the steamboat down on the bay 100 years before. Something beautiful, clean, but something antique and historic at the same time. Beautiful, soapy, absolutely beguiling. And in one of my favorite bases in the wet shaving world, y'all, when it comes to a base holding a scent, none of them do better than PAA. We will be back soon for a big surprise next weekend.
Welcome to our February messages.
So, y'all, in honor of our upcoming interview with Chris Cullen on Instagram, he has graciously offered to sponsor our February giveaway of one premium soap from Katie's Bubbles' entire line for free, CONUS only. And all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back on our first March episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
And you know what's cool? This has been sung about vehemently on the fan page for PAA on Facebook for months. I was a little worried when I smelled it that it wasn't going to live up to the hype. But y'all, this is exactly what I was hoping this would be. A sense of being in the South, being relaxed, being clean, being put together, and maybe spending the afternoon with one of the funniest American humorists on the history of the planet. Or maybe just one of his books in your hand. That's what this is.
It's fun knowing the lineage of this soap, that it came out in 2016. It made a comeback in 2024, and now it's here in another full set. So you never know what is going to happen to a scent here at PAA. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell smarter just watching this.